up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're back on the Mini finally. I've been doing some biking stuff, some other stuff, and I don't even know. But as you can see, we got some flair on this car now with a little bit of sidestep action too. But I started off with a big sheet of 4x8 18 gauge steel. And I went to my buddy's house and he has a big metal brake, and I was able to bend that sill into his brake, and I think it's gonna look quite well. It's gonna cover up that stupid seam where all the water traps in and rusts out your rockers. Yeah, my brake here is only, I think it's 36 inches. Needed a 55-inch piece. Just two bends, really. Let's go back to this side over here. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was gonna work or not, so I went ahead and did some of the driver's side. So I did the sill first, but before I did that, I sanded down some of the primer, I just kind of wiped it down, gave it a good cleaning. And then I put some edge primer all over the old sill and underneath the car as well as inside the new sill here. So it's all edge primed on the inside. And I went back and welded the top and the bottom. The bottom's not fully welded. I'll get that when the car is upside down again when I do final welding in post. The flares are handmade. The back one came out really good. Not the way I wanted to do it originally. Like I want the shape for sure. The shape is awesome. Love the shape of the fender. 18 gauge. More or less, it's the flip here. It's just, you know, well, actually, I did the face here out of 16 gauge, and this is 18 gauge. Easier to form. You can bend this right over your knee like lap. You just gotta go slow with it. You don't want to make a crazy bend because you'll get a kink in it. But this is pretty smooth. And I did bird netting behind it to keep this front piece here. But not the way you're supposed to do it. This is just one sheet, so it's got a sharp edge. And I'm gonna clean that up when the wheel's off. Ideally, what you wanna do is start with a strip of 18 gauge, put an L in it, and then you wanna put it in a shrinker stretcher, which I got over there, the blue guy. Unfortunately, the jaws, they wore out, and that's as far as I got with stretching it. Having that return lip makes it so rigid, and then after you fully got the arc, you can kind of bend and block the edge here back, so it would kind of be folded in on itself, and you would get a factory looking lip kind of like that, if you know what I mean. And that would be like your edge, you know, it would be like that instead of the sharp edge. The back one, I might go back and maybe just weld on like another piece of plate and then finish grind it. I would love to use a shrinker stretcher. Don't have jaws for it, and I don't want to wait another week and a half because I'm kind of back in my motivation kick. I just want to kind of get this done. Still need to do a little work here. I think I'm gonna, where this black line is, bend it in that way. I have to cut and relief that. Put the rear bumper on. Now I might go ahead and extend the bumper into the flare. I'm not sure yet. But these aren't going to be removable anymore. They're just going to be fully welded on. And the transition over here kind of blended pretty nicely. Still got work to do there. I'm currently working on the front now. And yeah, I would have loved to just shrunk this piece here or stretched it. It's so much stronger. But I think it is what it is. So what I'm going to do, I got two pieces here, 18 gauge. They're just mirror imaged. And I've already put edge primer on them. Now I'm just gonna flip them back on each other and pinch weld them, and then I'm gonna weld the seam together and turn it into, I guess you would say, 18 gauge plus 18 gauge, whatever thickness that would be, just to try to give it a little more rigidity, to try and get that factory inner lip. I don't even know what that piece is called, but you want it to be strong, you know, in case of you hit a gnarly bump and your tire hits it, you don't want it to bend or break or anything. So the back I'm not worried about because it's just, tire length goes up and down the back, whereas the front, if you're turning and hit a bump, it could cross and hit the fender and knock it up. Unless you have really good clearance, but I don't really know. I want to give it like a nice sleek look to it, but that's kind of where I'm at. I did take it for a test drive the other day, and brakes work awesome now. I did have a vacuum booster now, so that's huge. It made a big difference. And now basically I want to get these flares on and then start my body work. Maybe start disassembling a lot of the car and try and get this thing shaped up and almost ready for paint in a way. Now, going back to these flares here, I knocked down all the old paint on this wall here, and there's a dent here. There was loads of filler on here. You can actually see it behind here a little bit. It's all filler. I'm gonna knock all that off and redo it again. But my plan is to do some leading and some tinning to join this gap here. You know, I'm gonna grind this smooth a little bit, but you'll never get a good finish like that. I don't wanna just put Bondo back on it. I think it could hold up, but I wanna try to do the lead thing. Basically, you gotta put some tinning paste all over this. You gotta melt it in, clean it, and then get bars of lead, kind of like, I already do have some. But basically with the lead tinning, the lead procedure, whatever you want to call it, you can go thicker with your filler with the lead. It's going to hold up. It's going to be more durable than your typical Bondo. You don't really want to go past like 3/16 of an inch with Bondo. You're prone to cracking over the future, whereas the lead's going to hold up a lot better, a lot stronger. And I've been watching a few videos on YouTube, and I think that's the route I'm going to try and do to blend this all back in together, as well as fill in some of these dents. Now, the tinning leading is not going to get you perfect, but it's going to take up a lot of that space, where then you can go and do a skim coat of Bondo over that afterwards. And that's, I think that's the route I'm going to do. And going back to the front here, I still want this whole front clip removable. So my plan is to weld the flare, at least onto this front half here, and not weld it here, but I'm going to have a beauty washer here and here that kind of bolted on. And then I'll just do like one of those, let's see, like one of these rubber edges here. I'll just do that against the paint or the inner fender here, just from keep it from rattling, vibrating, and destroying the paint, if you will. I'd say that's a pretty good start for this episode anyways with the Fender flares. By no means are they done. I didn't even do the other side yet, but I'm gonna kind of leave you off on this right here. I still have to go back and blend a lot of this in, as well as I still have to either chop this or just bend it and return it going inside that way. I'll do it right on this corner here. Little stuff like that. I gotta top the back a little bit too. Figure out what I'm gonna do with this. I think I'm just gonna do the same thing with these black lines, or just cut this and kind of 90 this inward and weld it. I gotta finish welding over here, and I gotta touch up a little bit of the side skirt too underneath. And this is still gonna be removable for the front end. My plan here is I'm not gonna weld this part of the fender to the A-post here. I'm just gonna use this rubber stuff, the seam thing. This is just an old piece I have, but it takes up the gap I needed for when I do my bolt holes here. And I just did riv nuts on the inside, M6. So these will unbolt there, as well as the front clip right here. And then there's a couple bolts in the front too. So I can still remove the whole thing in one go. And I didn't have to do a split in the fender, so I'm hoping this will all work out. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Still need to get back to the other side. I kind of bounced around on you, getting the skirt in. But yeah, I'm gonna try and knock these out, and hopefully we'll be onto something new by then. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in the next one.